Are you a big dumb baby that doesn't know your own rights? Well, luckily for you, my name's Robert and my partner's Alex and we made this just for you. Enjoy. So let me tell you about this cool thing called rule of law, and basically, no random idiot who gets voted into office is gonna have any remorse when it comes to the grand hammer of the law, buddy. It's kind of sort of like mentioned in Article 2, I think, of the Constitution, some weird like paper thing. Basically, it says, the President and Vice President and civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Splendid indeed. Kill me. Anyways, what does this even mean? Alright. Blah blah blah. Basically, if you do a legal thing or you abuse your power, you get smitten by the judge, jury, and execution. So, for example, there's this one guy named John Green. He's kind of like the state representative in Idaho, or was. Essentially, he's been peddling all the anti-tax stuff. He's like, down with the government. I pay too much money for all this. Screw you guys.
He was doing tax evasion.
Real slick guy, wasn't he? So what does that mean then? Well, he's not the president, so he doesn't get impeached. Wrong! Any government official can get hit. And he totally did. He lost his position in office and had to serve 5 years in federal jail. Good memes indeed, my brother. Couldn't escape that one, huh? Couldn't just talk your way out of that one in your good funny voice. I don't like it, the taxes, man. Now, next meme. Tell me, how did that weirdo who committed a crime get into office again? Oh, that's right.
Popular sovereignty.
Basically, this is the idea that political power of this country is bestowed upon the people. This means when stupid people make it to office, it kind of just says a lot about society. Regardless of that, where does it say that? On the Constitution? I'm illiterate, so in the preamble of the Constitution, it explicitly states, "We, the people of the United States, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." In simple terms, we, as in us, like me, you, I make right. So, Robert, you say you're telling the truth, okay? I believe you, Robert. You're cool, big man, big brain, big, super strong, but where does it say it for real? I'm just having my doubts today, okay? The wind's feeling off. My horoscope is not really feeling it. Well, let me tell you. I seem to not get it in my head right now. I just don't. Where could popular sovereignty be represented in our government today? I don't know. That's a good question, man. Wait, who's that? Who's that one guy again? That one, like, old white guy? And he was like, was he Joe Rogan or something?
The third principle of the Constitution, separation of powers, refers to how the power of the government, in terms of running the country, is divided between different groups. Quite literally, separation of powers. This is so that there isn't one powerful group controlling the country, turning it into a dictatorship. This principle is shown in the Constitution in its Article section, in Articles 1, 2, and 3. These are the articles that create each branch of government. For example, according to Article 1, Section 1, all legislative powers are held by Congress. Article 2, Section 1 says executive powers are held by the President, and that they are Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy. Article 3, Section 1 says the judicial power of the U.S. is given to a Supreme Court, as well as inferior courts created by Congress. These articles demonstrate separation of powers because it gives the different powers of the government to different groups, the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. The legislative branch's job is to create laws, the executive branch's job is to enforce laws, and the judicial branch's job is to interpret the law. A real-life example of this could literally be any Supreme Court decision. So, how about this one? Obergefell vs. Hodges was a landmark civil rights case that guaranteed gay couples the right to marry. Now, this relates to the principle because only the judicial branch had the power to make this decision. Not the legislative branch, not the executive branch, only the judicial branch. This fourth principle, checks and balances, refers to how each branch of government has certain abilities they can use to keep other branches in check. This is so that no branch becomes too powerful. This principle is also seen in the Constitution's Article section, in Articles 1, 2, and 3. Article 1, Sections 2 and 3 say that Congress has the power of impeachment, which, just like how we explained before, means they can choose to remove the president from office if he breaks a law or something. Article 1, Section 7 gives the president veto powers. So, if Congress tries to pass a bill, the president can choose to veto or reject it. However, Congress can override vetoes with a 2/3 majority vote. Article 3 gives the judicial branch the ability to do judicial review. This allows them to reject anything from the other two branches they declare unconstitutional. These articles demonstrate the principle of checks and balances, because they lay out all the different powers each branch can use to balance each other, all the different checks and balances they have. A real-life example of this is Trump's impeachment. Last year, Trump pressured Ukraine to dig up dirt on one of his challengers for the presidency in 2020, Joe Biden. Trump enticed them to do so by offering money in the form of military aid. Democrats declared this abuse of presidential power since he used the office for personal and political gain. So, the articles of impeachment were passed in the House of Rep, and Donald Trump was impeached. However, he didn't really go anywhere, since for him to actually be removed from office, 2/3 of the mostly Republican Senate would have needed to approve of his removal, which didn't happen. While Trump didn't actually get removed from office, this is still an example of checks and balances because this is an example of the legislative branch using one of their checks on the executive branch.
Hey, I'm back again, and I'm sorry for being here. Let me, just to salvage any little validity, credibility I have, I'm going to put on these glasses and pretend that I'm smart. Final meme, guys. What is the limited government? Well, it's basically the idea that the government is only allowed to do what the citizens allow them to do. If that's so true, Robert, then where does it say it? Okay, Billy, I'll tell you.
The entire amendment section.
Congress shall make no law, no soldier shall, no person shall be held to answer for a capital. As you can see, they wrote a lot of cool stuff about the government. Wow. So, what are some examples in real life, Robert? Some examples include all the people protesting mask use and social distancing because they say it's against the Constitution. God, I hate this country. Anti-maskers claim that it's against their liberty to have mandated masks. Well, actually, regardless of this, you aren't actually endangering just yourself, but your provocative attempts at being edgy is actually endangering not only me, not only your mom, not only your smooth brain, but in fact, every living, breathing human around you. Please consider your actions, since I don't care directly if I get sick, because I'm a young boy, young strong boy, young big brain boy, okay? I can deal with this little baby flu. The problem is, though, I live with old, fragile, sick people, and they kind of take care of me, and if they were to go away, I'd go away kind of as well. So please have some consideration. Don't just take my word for it. Let's use some real court cases rather than my own opinion, because no one cares about what I think. The 1905 case of Jacobson versus Massachusetts show why mask mandates don't violate any constitutional right to privacy or health or bodily integrity. Basically, mandated vaccination shots because the states were getting really pissed off, so they kind of just stabbed all the people and like injected some funny juice in them. I forgot to add this. Jacob was testifying that the vaccination requirement was in violation of his rights, the inherent right of every free man to care for his own body and health in such a way as to him seems best. However, the court said, Jacobson, please shut up. As they simply stated in their professional way, there are manifold restraints to which every person is necessarily subject for the common good. On any other basis, organized society could not exist with safety to its members. Big words. Basically, society can't exist. Shut up. Basically, society can't exist if everyone is just going to be a big selfish baby. It has a real hard time doing the existing if you're gonna do that, huh? Cool, and that does this. Can I procrastinate?